Well, I often refer to myself as the bus driver, and that's a play on Jim Collins' book, Good to Great, where he talks about getting the right people on the bus and in the right seats. And I certainly take that very seriously. But I also want to make sure the bus stays between the ditches. Maintaining our healthy culture is really my top priority. We have an amazing group of rock stars at BankersOnline Consulting, and just getting the right people in that team and creating an atmosphere where their thought leadership can develop is really my biggest role. I also do most of the new client contacts. I love answering client questions, and I have a great passion for teaching. Travel around the country teaching at state and national associations and meeting people through those, and then also teaching at our webinars is a thrill to me. The most fulfilling part of my job, though, is just watching our team members grow and develop and walking through life with them. The biggest change in the last 25 years has been the technological advances. Our first computer was a laptop with Windows 3.1. Now, that was the first Windows program that had icons that you could click on to launch a program. That had been unheard before. And in 1993, most people had not seen a laptop, let alone icons that launched programs. Technology has sped up so much that the exchange of information is so fast now. I used to get the Federal Register every day, and I would read through it to find out what regs that affected us in the banking industry, compliance specific, were happening. Now, I have people call me and they say, hey, have you seen this? What do you think about that? And it hasn't even hit my email inbox yet. It's just crazy how fast things fly around, information exchanging. But I'm hoping that within my lifetime that technology advances enough that I can teleport myself, like beam me up, Scotty, because the amount of time that I spend in a car and on airplanes is ridiculous. I don't think that's going to happen in the next 10 to 15 years, though. What I look forward to the most is just enjoying the benefits of the relationships that we've built over the years. I learned long ago, it's not just business. We've seen clients retire, and I'll be approaching that in 10 to 15 years from now. We've seen them have children, grandchildren, and some have even passed on. I don't get into banks as much as I'd like to anymore, but I love catching up with people at conferences, live events, and on the phone. That's just a thrill to me. So you ask, what did I want to be when I grow up? And my first response to that is always, I don't know. And second is, I don't want to grow up. So that might answer a lot of questions for you. But one of my earliest memories was when I was 3. The Apollo 11 astronauts landed on the moon back in July of 1969. From that day on, I always wanted to be an astronaut. And then later it turned into, I just want to be an astronomer. And I actually enrolled at the University of Nebraska in astronomy. And when I realized that I was probably teaching astronomy rather than being an astronomer, it kind of faded my dreams there. So I went over to the College of Business and I enrolled in a banking class, and it just fired on all of all my stimuli, if you will. And then I happened to do a practice interview with the FDIC, and they ended up hiring me, and it just kind of like everything fell into place perfectly. Now, back in that day when I worked for the FDIC, there weren't separate compliance examiners in IT and safety and soundness. We did it all, and I often got stuck with doing the compliance exams. But I just seemed like I was the compliance guy. I really liked it. The problem was they didn't want me helping the bankers or providing them with solutions. Rather, I was there to evaluate, and I get that. But that was a tough time for me. So I left the FDIC and I went to work for a bank that was primarily agriculture-based. And about the third day of sitting behind one desk, one chair, I am the ADHD poster child. But I just realized this is not working for me. And I think it was pretty obvious to my boss, too. And after a short 6 months there, I left and I started Bankers Compliance Consulting. Well, fun fact number 1 is I used to rodeo in high school. In fact, 2 friends and I won a wild horse race. That's where you have to rope this horse because it's completely free in the arena. You've got to put a saddle on it, but you can't tie the saddle down. And then you have to get on it and ride it. I was the rider, and we rode across the arena and won the whole thing. And so that was pretty exciting. Second bonus fact is while in college, I used to play and sing in a country band, played the piano and guitar. I still do that today. I have a lot of outside interests. As I mentioned earlier, I play piano and the guitar, occasionally worship at our church or do special music. I also enjoy woodworking, mostly making sawdust, but I found that my grandchildren like the toys that I make for them. I enjoy waterfowl, or hunting, mostly waterfowl, as you can see, in the winter and fishing in the summer. I'm a hunter education instructor. I still water ski, wakeboard, although it's getting a lot harder every year. My goal, to keep doing it till I'm 70. We'll see. I'm involved in a lot of civic organizations, church committees, programs, and one of my passions is the Nebraska Committee for Economic Education. I love to travel. I've been almost everywhere in the United States, and I have a bucket list of countries that I want to visit. Last, I love wine and food pairing. I currently have probably 400 to 500 bottles of wine, and at one time I had about 1,000. So it's probably obvious I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't drink coffee anymore. My doctor suggested I give that up. But when I did, I used to drink it however it was served to me. I'd rather have a glass of wine.